I've served the Nine all my days, and I chart my course by the cycles of the heavens. The skies are marked with numberless sparks, each a fire, and every one a sign. I know these stars well, and the signs I read show the end of my path. My death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. No trophies of my triumphs precede me, but I have lived well, and my ghost shall rest easy. Men are but flesh and blood. They know their doom, but not the hour. In this I am blessed to see the hour of my death, to face my apportioned fate, then fall.
Those were the final words of Uriel Septim VII, the 24th emperor of the Third Empire of the Septim Dynasty. His forebear, Tiber Septim, conquered the continent of Tamriel more than 400 years ago, ushering in the Third Era in Tamriel. Uriel reigned for 55 of the 65 years he was crowned emperor, until his assassination in 3E 433. The early decades of Emperor Uriel's life were marked by aggressive expansion and consolidation of imperial influence throughout the empire, but especially in the east, in Morrowind and Black Marsh, where the empire's power was limited, imperial culture was weak, and native customs and traditions were strong and staunchly opposed to assimilation. During this period, Uriel greatly benefited from the arcane support and shrewd counsel of his close advisor, the imperial battle mage, Jagar Tharn. In 3E 389, Uriel Septim VII was betrayed by imperial battle mage Jagar Tharn, who secretly imprisoned him and used illusion magic to masquerade as the emperor for a decade. From 3E 389 to 3E 399, a period known as the Imperial Simulacrum, Uriel was held captive in a realm of oblivion, while his battle mage reigned over the war-torn empire. Little is known of Uriel's experience while trapped in oblivion. He says he remembers nothing but an endless sequence of waking and sleeping nightmares. Time moved much slower in this alternate plane of existence, thus it would be centuries before the emperor died. Jagar Tharn's neglect and mismanagement of imperial affairs resulted in a steady decline in the empire's economic prosperity, allowed many petty lords and kings to challenge the authority of the empire, and permitted strong local rulers in the east and the west to indulge in open warfare over lands and sovereign rights. Tharn was eventually defeated in 3E 399 by the Eternal Champion, who freed Uriel VII from his other dimensional cell. At 3E 405, Uriel VII sent his agent to Iliac Bay to investigate the death of Uriel's former friend, King Lysandus of Daggerfall, and also to track the letter previously sent by Uriel to the Queen of Daggerfall. The agent finally unearthed the truth behind Lysandus's death, which led the agent to the recovery of Numidium, an ancient powerful Dwemer construct. Ultimately, a phenomenon known as the Warp in the West transformed the Iliac Bay region from an assortment of warring petty kingdoms into the well-ordered and peaceful modern counties of Hammerfell, Sentinel, Wayrest, and Orsinium. The empire then entered a period of peace and prosperity, comparable to the early years of Uriel's reign. With the imperial heartland and west solidly integrated into the empire, Uriel was able to turn his full attention to the east, to Morrowind. Uriel took considerable personal interest in the Nerevarine prophecy in Morrowind, and in 3E 427, he dispatched an agent of obscure origins to Vardenfell to fulfill the legend. Uriel worked through shadowy agents of the Blades and through the court of King Helseth in Mournhold to shift the center of political power in Morrowind from the Great House Councils to Helseth's court, and took advantage of the collapse of the Orthodox tribunal cults to establish the Nine Divines as the dominant faiths in Hlalu and Vardenfell districts. The agent of Uriel Septim also fulfilled the Nerevarine prophecy, and became the Nerevarine when he destroyed the Sixth House and their leader Dagoth-Ur. In 3E 433, Uriel Septim VII was assassinated by a Daedric cult of Mehrunes Dagon. Martin, son of Uriel VII and the last of the Septim, sacrificed his life while summoning the Avatar of Akatosh to defeat Mehrunes Dagon to resolve the Oblivion Crisis. The death of the last Septim also resulted in the ending of the Third Era in Tamriel. Uriel Septim VII is one of the key characters in the Elder Scrolls games because of so many world-shaping events that occurred in his lifetime. The betrayal of Uriel Septim VII by Jagar Tharn is the main theme of the first Elder Scrolls game, Arena. Uriel Septim VII is also featured in Daggerfall, Morrowind, and Oblivion. Did Uriel Septim VII achieve his objectives by sending a potential Nerevarine to Morrowind? The answer is a resounding yes, as everything worked out for Uriel Septim at the end. Dagoth-Ur is dead for good, and his plans to expel the Empire and conquer Tamriel are squashed. The Tribunal are dead or missing, their reputation broken and the temple discredited. House Hlalu is on the rise, with Helseth as the main figure of authority in the country. The Empire keeps their forts and legions in the country, and there's no Dunmer power that can expel them at that point. Uriel was troubled all his life by dreams that showed him visions of the future, including his assassination and the start of the Oblivion crisis that followed. It was said that the dragon blood possessed by members of the Septim Dynasty allowed them to see more than lesser men. When playing Daggerfall, Uriel Septim VII has a request to the player.
Over a year ago, King Lysandus of Daggerfall died honorably on the field of battle. He was as loyal a subject, ally, and friend. But his spirit does not rest. With a spectral army, he haunts his former kingdom, crying for revenge. I do not know why a good and loyal man would be so cursed. Perhaps you can find the answer and close the marble jaws of oblivion, bringing peace to his soul.
When playing Oblivion, you meet the man himself before his impending death.
I was born 87 years ago. For 65 years, I've ruled as Tamriel's emperor. But for all these years, I've never been the ruler of my own dreams. I have seen the gates of oblivion, beyond which no waking eye may see. This is the 27th of last seed, the year of Akatosh 433. These are the closing days of the third era and the final hours of my life.
That was the life of Uriel Septim VII, who is unquestionably one of the greatest characters in the Elder Scrolls series.